This one. I think it's that. Traditional.
I work for the Program for Torture Victims, which is a nonprofit and the oldest program of its kind in the United States that provides specialized medical, psychological, and case management services to survivors of state-sponsored torture from all over the world. I have a blended role here. I'm one of the psychotherapists. I conduct forensic psychosocial assessments of survivors of torture and testify in federal immigration court as an expert witness. I also provide ongoing therapy to individual survivors of torture as well as families. I conduct training, and I'm in charge of the research that we do here, as well as evaluating our services.
PTV, this is Megan.
Survivors of torture come to the Program for Torture Victims through many different avenues. Most survivors of torture are fairly guarded when they first come. They don't know what to expect. They often don't trust individuals and strangers, particularly because the violence that they have experienced has been human perpetrated. When we first start working with survivors of torture, we engage in a fairly long process of assessing, really trying to put the torture experience in context of their life and understanding the impact of it, but also how they're functioning. We also provide ongoing medical and psychological care. All of our services are free to survivors of torture. And we also connect them with other survivors through some of the innovative group work that we do. I brought a pine cone. I don't know if you can see it. It's very, very small, but it has enormous potential for growth, and just like all of us. And I wanted to share that with you today. Thank you. The Healing Club is something that we formed here at the Program for Torture Victims some years ago, where we gather together as a community, a welcoming community for clients, for their families, for their friends. And it's an opportunity to connect with other survivors and to share stories of strength, to laugh together, and to find support. What's been really amazing to me is to see the connections that have formed. On many occasions, survivors from very different backgrounds have formed close friendships. For example, Eritreans have formed close friendships with Ethiopians. And this is after having grown up for their entire lives where their countries were at war with one another. When their own torture was at the hands of someone who now they're becoming not the particular individual, but for someone who shared characteristics with their perpetrator. And the survivors with whom we work have told us that the Healing Club is one of the most important elements of the services that they've gotten here at the Program for Torture Victims. It means so much to me to be recognized by NASW as the Social Worker of the Year. I so respect the stance that NASW has taken on the problem of torture. They have been an outspoken advocate against the practice of torture in all forms, and have helped to really raise awareness of the issue. And so my hope is that by my receiving this award, that it will help to bring more attention to the problem of torture that is happening all over the world.